My name is Michael Chappell. I am one of the full-time faculty counseling. I'm actually counselors, I should say. One of the full-time counselors here at CRC, Consumers River College. Mine, for me, I would say I was an immature student. And immature meant that I didn't have the academic discipline prior to coming in from high school. So that was a challenge for me. So the experience for me was, it was a long process. Because not only did I have to have maturity just in general, I had to have academic maturity. So I wasn't successful in the community college. I struggled at Sacramento City College. I struggled at CRC. It wasn't until I started to get older or mature, I don't like to use that word OLD, but mature. And once I started seeing that I could do this and it's not as hard, it's going to take a little bit of discipline. It's going to take my maturity, because that's the way I really base this level of intelligence. I don't base level of intelligence on grades. I base them on two things, and it's academic discipline and it's also maturity. So you can be disciplined, but you can be immature, or you can be vice versa. You can be mature and not disciplined. So you can look at it from that standpoint. And I said that's probably was my struggles when I was in the community college. A good counselor to me just does status quo. Hey, I get them in. I saw 20 students today. An effective counselor meets students where they're at, lets them kind of have the opportunity, that autonomy to make decisions in their life, and it doesn't feel like things are forced on them. So for me, it's like counselors have these tools. It's a tool. If they have a toolbox, these are the tools. It's academic, it's career, it's crisis, it's personal, and it's multicultural. Those are the state standards that we are held by counselors. But a lot of times some counselors will spend some time just focusing on academics, but not really focusing on the personal side of the student. So sometimes we get students in here who choose a major based on what someone told them to take, whether it be family or friends, but they don't necessarily want to do that major. So that's where the personal counseling has come in, like, why'd you choose these classes? Who told you to take these majors? Find out a little about our students and where they want to go in their direction of life. That's an effective counselor to me. The one that does status quo, it's not that they're not effective, but it's hard to build a relationship with them if you don't really tap into what they want to do. And so a good counselor will go for numbers. It's quantity versus quality, and I'm all about quality. I don't care about numbers. Numbers don't mean anything to me at the end of the day, because you can put out 20 students in one day and see like 20, and you can even go higher than that. Does that necessarily mean, is that the effective way? So I'd rather spend maybe half of that, maybe 10, but getting 10 to know their potential and know their goal, where they want to go in life and the direction. It gives that opportunity, that hope, that dream for that student that is part of the ethnic group that I identify with. See, a lot of times if you don't see a reflection of yourself, may not have that purpose. If you don't see a person that you can kind of have a conversation with, or even help steer you, or motivate you, or believe in you, some of our students don't come from that. Some of our students come from despair and disappointment. And so to not have a faculty member on this campus that represents them only perpetuates the same things that they live on a daily. I have the blessing to work in the Amen group, which is on campus, where we work with 25 plus young African American males, and they inspire me. They validate why I'm here, because I will never do a job to status quo. I will never do a job just because it's a source of income. It has to have that passion. And my passion for men of color and people of color stabilizes why I want to be here, or it states why I want to be here. There's no other reason I would do this job if I couldn't touch those individuals. But me is a reflection and showing them this is the potential, their potential, or the potential that they can reach through education, and sharing my journey and my stories. Because I'm not a counselor. I tell students like this, I am not a counselor that's going to tell you what to do. I do not give advice. My counseling practices for those is to tell them a story, narrate it for them, and then they get to pick and choose what's going to work best for them. That's that part of autonomy. When you come to college, you should have the decisions. You should be able to make decisions. But you should also have people who support you. So when I look at it, I'm here for the underdog. I'm here for those that don't believe in themselves, to see their potential. And I'll continue to, push people of color, specifically African Americans, because if you look through the state, you look through we're not coming to college. Even when we get here, social acceptance is really hard sometimes. And identifying with faculty members, and that doesn't mean just instructional, it can be in student services too. Not having a reflection of yourself is challenging. And then you wonder, what is my purpose? Like, if all my teachers don't look like me, or they're not caring about where I want to go, that's a problem. So I take this position as an honor, and just as they acknowledge me as being someone they admire to be, I'm thankful for the students of color that have accepted me, and specifically African American males. So it's an honor and privilege to serve these students, but all students too. Just a couple things circulating in my mind, a couple things that are circulating in my mind, but I'll stick to specifically one. I want them to come in feeling better than they came in before. So if it's anxiety, I want them to, at the end of every session, I ask them, how do you feel now? Because during that session, I presented multiple options, multiple choices for them. No, you don't have to do this. Who told you you have to do this? Being a college student versus being a high school student is that autonomy. You're able to make decisions that empower you. I always tell students, I don't know what you do. I only know you for maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 at the most, because that's a counseling appointment with us, 30 minutes. How can I help you draw up everything in 30 minutes of your life when we've only had that short amount of time? So when my students want them, I wanted to make sure that I at least gave them options. That's the biggest thing is one. And did he make me feel safe? Because that's one of the things, because in order to build a trust, students have to feel that they're safe and they don't feel things are being forced on them. So I have students, like I'll use this as an example. Students will come to me and say, I want to drop a class. I'm like, why are you asking me? Well, they told me to talk to a counselor. I was like, okay. Because you've already mentally told yourself that you're going to drop the class, so why would I send you physically back to a class that you've mentally taken yourself out of the class? So students don't understand this. In order to be successful at this campus, you have to be mentally and physically here. So if you have something going on in your life, that's the mental part. You just physically taking up the space. You can't focus in it, whether it be a relationship, you got to take care of a parent, whether, you have to provide means. Students will tell me, I have to go, I can't do school this semester, I got to get a job. Well, you need to get that job because I don't want you to lose your place of residency. I don't want you to lose, and I don't even want you to lose your job. You have to commit to school when you're ready, because when students come when they're ready versus someone telling them to do it, I think the outcome will be better. I think that they'll buy more into it. So that's my philosophy. I'm located in the library building, 200, in the counseling department. Students can schedule appointments with me. They can email me. chappem@crc.losrios.edu. You can email me. You can give me a call. And that number is 916-691-7035. That's my direct line. But if you have to schedule an appointment with me, you can call this number, 916-691-7035. 7316. And let me tell you, whoever's out here listening to this, counselors are not assigned. You choose the counselor that you feel most comfortable with, okay? Because it's about building that relationship. So I don't take any offense if students don't want to see me specifically, because we have a host of really good counselors on our staff that are willing to assist students in any way. But it's really about the comfort level of that student. So that's 691-7316, of course, area code 916, will get you to the general counseling. And you can always request me. My name is Mike Chappell. I'm one of the full-time faculty member in the counseling department.